What's up, guys? This is Elo Speaks back again with another video. And in this video topic, I'm going to be talking about Deion Sanders and Colorado's win against Colorado State University. So, as you know, Deion Sanders and Colorado were going up against their interstate rivals. That's called Colorado State University. And I wanted to talk about the comeback win, being down 14 in the second overtime victories that led to them winning. So, as we know, there was a lead up to the rivalry between these two teams. The trash talk before was leading up to the game, starting with CSU head coach in her interview saying how when he's talking to adults, he take his hat and glasses off, which is a direct shot at Deion Sanders, who we all know from his days at Florida State University. He has a swagger and personality to him that displays when he talks to people and media alike. So that was a direct shot at Deion Sanders and how he operates, how he do things. Basically saying that Deion Sanders is not a professional or doesn't conduct himself in the way he talks to the media or how he talks to people in front of him, which I would take that as major disrespect in terms of how it said that you could tell there was malice behind him saying that, and the head coach was amped up when he was saying that, so he wanted to get that off when he was doing that interview. So again, and then also as the lead up during the week, Deion Sanders, made it. He went on First Take, was talking about that with Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. Smith, and he was just trying to brush it off because he didn't want to add too much fuel to the fire. He just wants the guys to go on the field, play the game, and win. He don't want to put too much emphasis on that particular part. So during the day of the game, there was trash talking leading during the warm-ups of the opening kickoff with Travis Hunter and other CLU players going back and forth with the players from Colorado State University, and they were chomping at the bit, talking trash to each other, going back and forth on the field while they're doing their warm-ups, and it was just like, it was entertaining to watch, I'm not gonna lie, and stuff like that, it makes the game more exciting, more amped up, seeing players trash talk, showing that they're going to put it out there on the field, and they showing how badly they really want to win this, especially all the controversy that's been going on from the past week with two head coaches and now the game day kickoff. So I also wanted to talk about the game. The game was overall entertaining. It was a great show. It was a great football game to watch overall. One particular point I want to point out is that the dirty hit on Travis Hunter that led to him being taken out of the game with a lacerated liver and being hospitalized with the injury. The MRI came back and he's going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks sidelined, which is tragic to say the least, because football is a really physical, dangerous game, but you never want the players, especially college kids, to be out there getting hurt on the field. You want them to be as healthy as possible so they can continue to play this game that they love to do as long as possible. But to have an intentionally dirty hit like that was shameful on that Colorado State player who did that. He should have been ejected from the game. It was clearly shown that he was not even going for the football. He was clearly targeting Travis Hunter, and I understand that Travis Hunter was jarring back and forth, trash talking, but there was no reason for him to do a dirty hit like that, because look at the damage that it's caused. Now, granted, I understand it from the perspective that, okay, we're going to go at this kid, we're going to hit him, we're going to punch him in the mouth, we're going to let him know that we do business, we mean business, but again, that was a dirty play. He was intentionally trying to hurt him, and that's what he did. He ended up hurting him, taking him out the game, and because of that, he's going to be out for a couple of weeks, and now he's going to, while he's out for a couple of weeks, we don't even know he's going to come back 100% healthy, and having a lacerated liver, we don't know how that's going to impact him moving forward during the rest of the season. So that was unfortunate, and I feel like that was a dirty hit. The player should have been ejected from the game altogether, but they just gave him a flag on the play and they moved forward from there. They didn't let that rod them up. Then they continued to play forward, and I was impressed with Deion Sanders and how he kept his team composed despite that happening, because that could have got ugly real quick with the whole team going back and forth fighting on the field because of that. Now, my next point, I wanted to give props to Colorado State University for making this a very interesting competitive game to watch. I personally thought Colorado was going to blow them out waters. I thought it was going to be like a dominating blowout. I thought Deion Sanders' team was going to make a impact, a statement by saying, "You talk trash on us, this is what's going to happen." But I could see that this was a very important game for Colorado State University, and that they wanted to make a statement by trying to beat Colorado, and that they put in a great effort in doing so. And you could tell that was a really, really important win for them. They wanted to do this for them, the team, and they wanted to win this game for their head coach as well too. So I want to give them props for doing that, because I could tell how badly they really wanted to win this, especially with all the trash talking that been going back and forth between the two teams leading up to the matchup, and then for them to lose like that, I know it was a little bit heartbreaking, but again, I want to give them their kudos and good effort on them. Good luck to them the rest of the season as they move forward during the college football season. My next point I wanted to go into was Deion Sanders lead one of the most highest watched games this season with over 11 million viewers, which is huge, and it shows you the Deion Sanders effect on how just him being the head coach of that particular team leads a lot of viewership from fans all over. And I'll tell you, I'm a fan of Deion Sanders. He's one of the greatest cornerbacks in NFL history. He's done so much for the game of football. He has a swagger personality about him. He makes you want to run through a wall for him. And what he's done at JSU and now what he's doing for Colorado University is astounding, and just can't help but marvel and congratulate him on that, because what he's doing is spectacular. To leading a team that won one game last year to being 3-0 now and going forward, that is clearly remarkable. I hope he continue this run by winning a bunch of games this season and possibly playing for a bowl. Now, this is guys gonna be moving forward for the rest of the season because of the certain matchups that they're gonna be having, big name teams that they're gonna be playing, and the fact with Deion, if he continues to win like this, is just gonna bring more eyeballs to him, Colorado, and is also going to bring more eyeballs to college football overall, because narratives and storylines impact sports all the time, and having a storyline narrative like Deion Sanders coaching for Colorado University is always great for college football overall. Now, my last point I wanted to get into is the next challenge for Deion Sanders and Colorado Buffaloes. With the next few teams that they will be facing down the road during the season, next week they're going to be facing number 10 Oregon and number 5 ranked USC, and after that ASU. Now the next two games are going to be rough because they're top 10 ranked opponents. Oregon is going to be tough, and USC is going to be tough as well. Critics already having them lose those type of games, being down, but I think that Colorado Buffalo has a chance to compete with those teams. I'm not saying they're going to flat out win, but they have a chance to compete with those teams and make it interesting. Hopefully, if they go at least 2-1 in the next 3 games, that'll be good in the standings. But it's hard for me to see, as much as I do want them to win, it's hard for me to see them going 3-0, beating these top heavyweight teams in the top 25 rankings. But who knows? Deion Sanders has done magic before, and he could possibly do it again. I'm rooting for him. I hope he does well during the rest of the season. But again, these next 3 weeks are going to be a tough outing for him, possibly, because when it comes to Oregon, they have a good offense. USC is a good team, and ASU has a possible chance that they can win that, but you just never know. So, again, that's going to be the next challenge for Deion Sanders moving forward as he coached Colorado Buffaloes. But, best of luck to him during the season, and I'm going to be rooting for him. So, that's my thoughts on the Colorado versus Colorado State football rivalry. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. This is Elo Speaks out. Peace. Alright, so I wanted to get into this real quick. So, Houston Rockets player Kevin Porter Jr. was charged with assault, strangulation. So I wanted to talk about this, give proper information, and give my take on it. So as we know, the Houston Rockets guard Kevin Porter Jr. was arrested with assault and strangulation after the incident at New York hotel Monday morning. A New York City police spokesman said. So while the NBA is conducting its own investigation, the Rockets are allowed to administer any immediate punishment on Porter, including a suspension, because they have to do a proper investigation, see what happened, see what was going on, etc. Now, as we know, as regards to the NBA, under the terms of the league domestic violence policies, the commissioner, which is Adam Silver, has the power to place Porter on administrative leave with pay for a reasonable period of time. Based on the findings of the case, the commissioner can fine, suspend, dismiss, or disqualify for any further association with the league and its teams a player who violates the domestic violence policy. So the NBA has their own regimen on how they want to do this situation as regards to Kevin Porter Jr. and the situation that he's gotten himself into, and how the NBA and the police is going to handle it. Right now, it's not looking too good for him because, as we know, Porter just signed a 4-year contract extension worth as much as $82.5 million last season. However, it's only partially guaranteed due to Porter's history off-court issues, and the Rockets were to eventually waive Porter based on the results of the investigation or criminal conviction. The franchise will be responsible for only $16.9 million of guaranteed money left on his contract. So that's the story on Kevin Porter Jr. So I just wanted to give my thoughts right quick. This is a horrible situation. I don't get how these athletes keep finding themselves in situations like this. This is bad for him, his family, and just his long-term future overall. They're going to do the investigation, and they're going to see what they could do out of this situation. If he's seen that he did assault his girlfriend, or which, as regards to strangulation, then he needs to be arrested and put into jail. There's no reason for you to be putting your hands on a woman as regards to that shit. If you're dealing with a difficult situation where you feel like you got to put hands on a female, you have to leave that situation immediately, because it's only going to end bad for you. Putting your hands on her is not going to end well for you unless she's attacking you. Still try to restrain her, call the police, and leave the situation as best as you possibly can. Like, I guarantee you, hitting the female, abusing her, doing all that is not going to end well for you. Now, majority of the time, I think of people who do domestic violence are a piece of crap. I'm keeping it PC for you too. They're a piece of crap. There's no reason for you to be putting your hands on a female. Leave the situation immediately. If it starts getting way more toxic, where your life could be threatened, call the police and just evacuate the situation as soon as possible. There's no reason for you to be doing that. Again, I wasn't in the house with him and his girlfriend, so I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I don't want to speak too much on the situation because we don't know what type of evidence that they found from the investigation. I'm pretty sure that there's marks and any type of bruising on the female that they will arrest him, but still, we just don't know. I just want to give my 2 cents on it. I think Kevin Porter Jr. is a piece of crap. If this is true, he needs to be dealt with and punished severely. And on top of that, he needs to be cut by the Houston Rockets. If it's true, there's no reason to be having this type of nonsense in the league from him or any player that's doing this type of stuff. It's not right, and will not be tolerated. And I'm glad that Adam Silver is dealing with this as best he can and not jumping the gun as soon as possible, because it could be possibly a chance that it might not be true. But if it is true, he needs to be punished to the fullest extent of the law. So that's all I want to give my take on it. I don't really particularly like getting into conversations like this because it's a touchy subject and how people deal with it, but I feel the need to talk about it, give my 2 cents on it. But that's just my opinion on the situation. Let me know yours in the comment section down below what you think about the situation with Kevin Porter Jr. with this salt strangulation. Let me know in the comment section down below. Peace. Alright, so I wanted to get into this right quick. So I just got done watching season 2 of HBO's Winning Time, the Rise of the Los Angeles Lakers Dynasty, and overall it was an entertaining series, but then come to find out that HBO is canceling the show and they will not be having a season 3. So technically this was the series finale of the Showtime Lakers move forward, and to be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed and pissed off about it because what a horrible way to end a pretty decent show. I was fairly entertained by the show. It had some good plot points, interesting characters, and it showed you how the rise of the Lakers dynasty, how they built up from scratch and how they got to where they are. But now that the show is ending and that they end the show off with the Lakers losing in the 1984 finals to their rivals Boston Celtics, which is just a horrible, ironic way to end the show. The show is literally called Winning Time, and your last episode is you guys losing in the 1984 finals to your arch rival Boston Celtics, with Larry Bird winning the championship and Magic Johnson crying in the showers. And the fact that the whole season 2 was leading up to the 1984 finals to end on this point was makes it more disappointing, because I mean, again, this is history, proven history. We already know what happened and stuff like that, but still, for you to end the show like that, I don't know how soon that they knew that they were canceling the show, because rumors had it that they was trying to see if they have a season 3, but I guess because the viewership for the HBO television show were cut in half, that they decided to cancel and scrap the series entirely. So that was the ending of the show. Now granted, after the 84 finals, they did a montage of the rest of the history from 85 onward to 1991, etc., showing the Lakers winning championships, etc., and what happened to Magic Johnson getting HIV, etc., and towards life. But still, that was just a horrible, disappointing end to a decent TV show. It wasn't the best TV show. There were some things that were exaggerated points, but it gave you a glimpse of how things were during the 80s of that time and how the team operated under Jim Buss and the Lakers. Seeing characters like Jerry West, Paul Westhead, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, seeing those guys interact with each other, it was an interesting way to see it, because we don't know how things happen behind the scenes. We just see what they show us on TV, and we always seen Magic Johnson smiling, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar brooding, but we got to see emotions, we got to see how they feel, we got to see what type of players that they were, during their time when they were, at the apex of their peak. But again, that was a horrible, disappointing end to the show. To figure out that they're not going to have a season 3, so they kind of had to scrap it and end the show off like that was just horrible. So, read from this article, Esquire.com. So, it shows that HBO treated its viewers to a bizarre surprise. So it turned out that Sunday night's finale of Winning Time, The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty, was the series finale. Mere moments after the episode was wrapped up, HBO announced that the cancellation of the sports drama, which is based on the Showtime era Lakers. And it said, quote, "Not the ending that we had in mind. The co-creator, Max Borstein shared on social media, but nothing but gratitude and love. So I could tell that he was even disappointed at what had happened as regards to it. But again, there's nothing he could do about it. It's not his fault that the show's getting canceled. It's just the lack of viewership from HBO Max, so they just got to scrap it. I just felt like if you guys were to have season 2 as the series finale, then they could have they could have done that season a lot more justice into getting it a proper send off, so that way, it could have ended a little bit more better. Now, granted, I know they probably was thinking we was gonna get 4 or 5 seasons of winning time. Most likely, how it was moving so fast, it's probably was gonna end probably in 4 seasons. But still, to end the show just off like that was brutal, heartbreaking. While seeing them lose the '84 finals in 7 games to the Boston Celtics on the Boston Celtics home floor, I know they felt some type of way about that. So that was, if you're a Lakers fan, and I'm pretty sure if you were a Boston fan during that time, you were as ecstatic and happy seeing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar get into a tussle. Somebody just jumped and grabbed on him. It was like crazy. I can't imagine the times during that day in the 80s where, all the whole craziness was going on between the rivalry between Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers, going down from Boston to LA, back and forth, back and forth. So that was interesting to see, but again, that was just a horrible ending to a decent series that I felt like could have had a lot of potential, but I guess the viewership wasn't there, so I guess they just decided to scrap the series as a whole. I guess my favorite characters of the series overall was Pat Riley and Jerry West. I felt like I've seen a lot of character development from those two guys from the beginning of season 1 until now to season 2. It just let me know that the organization as the Lakers, how they presented themselves, everything wasn't as buttoned up as they try to perceive to be. But, there was a lot of arguing back and forth, yelling, trying to make the team better, locker room tension between trades like Norm Nixon and Magic Johnson, etc. Stuff like that was going on that made the show way interesting that it should have. And again, we as fans, we don't see this stuff like that. So to get a glimpse of how it was in the locker room, it was great to see. And I really enjoyed it. You see how things played out. You see how characters interacted with each other. It's a shame that the show's over and they're not going to have a season 3 or onward, but hey, it is what it is. It was a decent ride. It was just a disappointing ending to the ride overall. And just from reading a little bit of the article that I just read, I could tell that the co-creator was disappointed as well too, in terms of how he wanted to end the series. And obviously, I know he didn't want to end the series just like that, but again, there's nothing he could do. HBO decided to axe this series, so he only could do so much. So it is what it is. Those are my thoughts and opinions on the matter as regards to HBO's winning time. But let me know yours in the comment section down below. This Elo Speaks out. Peace.